Welcome to another travel adventure. In today's episode, we will be visiting Cook Forest State Park. This park is located near the southwestern-most portion of the Allegheny National Forest, which is another stunning location you must check out. This part of Pennsylvania is one of my favorite hiking locations due to the numerous trails you will discover. The 8,500-acre Cook Forest State Park and 3,136-acre Clarion River Lands lie in scenic northwestern Pennsylvania, known for its stands of old-growth forest. The park's Forest Cathedral of towering white pines and hemlocks is a national natural landmark. A scenic 13-mile stretch of the Clarion River flows through Cook Forest State Park and is popular for canoeing, kayaking, and tubing. Today we will be visiting 6 of my favorite spots: Seneca Point, the Fire Tower, River Hike, Forest Nook Restaurant, Indian Trading Post, and finally Memorial Fountain. Sit back, relax, and enjoy today's journey. Before we travel to the forest, I want to welcome you first to the quaint town of Clarion, Pennsylvania. Located less than 100 miles northeast of Pittsburgh, Clarion was first established as a city in the early 1800s. This area is rich with history, culture, and minerals, as various mining operations took place when settlers constructed this metropolis. The city resides on the banks of the Clarion River, which played a crucial role in the expansion of the local economy. Several prominent buildings reside within the city, including the Clarion Courthouse, Clarion University, which offers well-manicured grounds and several buildings throughout the campus, and a historic town square with various monuments devoted to the founders of the city and war veterans. If you are a history buff, then Clarion is definitely the place for you. Clarion is relatively small, with a population of nearly 6,000 residents, but showing signs of growth. Now that we have completed this short pit stop along the way, our next stop is the wilderness. Our first stop for today is Seneca Point, which overlooks the Clarion River and the steep gorge below. This place features awe-inspiring rock formations, wooded vistas, and pristine natural surroundings. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Cook Forest State Park here in Pennsylvania. It's a beautiful sunny morning, and it's time for another hiking adventure. And today we have a few points of interest in Cook's Forest here. The Fire Tower, Seneca Point, and hopefully we'll be able to see the Clarion River. I want to get some video of that, so sit back and relax and enjoy today's adventure. It's really quiet here, isn't it? Yeah. Got some, what is this, rhododendron bushes over here? It's pretty cool. Love how the sun is peeking through the trees. And also in this forest, there's some of the tallest and oldest hemlock trees in the state of Pennsylvania. So that's really cool. Hopefully we'll be able to see some of those today.
Good morning.
Okay, let's go and check out Seneca Point. And this fire tower is, of course, used to observe forest fires that are starting in the distance to give the park rangers a better vantage point. And I believe Seneca Point is the single overlook within the forest. Don't quote me on that, but had to capture a little clip of that beautiful spider web. I can't get over how shady it is in this forest. Okay, we are approaching Seneca Point Overlook. It's going to be amazing over here. Alright, let's go and take a look at Seneca Point. Nice little bridge over here, leading you to the observation point. How is it, Dad? Beautiful? Okay. Geez, look at this. This is way more natural looking than the one at Allegheny Overlook, isn't it? This is awesome. I'm so glad we made it here today, guys. Just couldn't pass up the opportunity to get out and start hiking again. Look at this. Oh my gosh. This is incredible. What an incredible day. And here's the little rocks that are behind the observation deck. Give me a wave, Dad. Okay, I hope everyone enjoyed Seneca Point, and now I'm going to go down here and kind of explore a little bit in these little caverns. I think my dad's already down there, so let's go and meet up with him. Such a really unique overlook over here. I've never seen something like this.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh my God, is that beautiful? Look at a tree.
Get a video of this. Oh, it's cool over here. Very nice.
Oh, it's cool over here. Very nice. Oh wow, it's nice. Geez. Yeah. Yeah, come on.
This is just gorgeous. Isn't this incredible? Wow. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed Seneca Point, and now let's head over to the fire tower. This unique fire tower stands 87.5 feet tall and has withstood many storms over the years. Okay, so now we are approaching the fire tower. And I know in previous years this tower has actually been closed at the top, the door leading to the top platform, so we'll see if we could get up there today. It is one of the very few remaining original fire towers in the state that permits public access. It was placed here primarily as a tourist attraction to allow visitors to enjoy a scenic view of the Clarion River Valley. Okay, there is a 6-person limit on this fire tower. And over here, as you can see, construction of the fire tower road and fire tower number 9 was completed by the Department of Forests and Waters on 8/18/29. It stands 87.5 feet tall and has withstood many windstorms over the years. It is one of the very few remaining original fire towers in the state that permits public access. Alright, he's heading up. Any last words?
Hope it's not shaky.
Yeah. Although it is not the highest point in the area, You can see 3 of the highest points from this position. It wasn't utilized to look for forest fires until 1948. Paid forest fire observers manned the tower for 8-hour days during the yearly fire season until 1967. Volunteers then manned the tower until 1976, when a tornado blew down its electric and phone lines. The tower has since reverted to its original use, serving mainly as a tourist attraction for visitors to gain an incredible scenic view. There are more than 47 miles of hiking trails and 4.3 miles of multi-use trails within Cook Forest State Park. An additional 24 miles of multi-use trails and 8 miles of hiking trails are located within the Clarion River Lands. The river trail is approximately 1.2 miles long and considered the most difficult hiking within the park. This steep segment runs along the NCT Baker Trail by the Clarion River from the Fire Tower to the Fire Tower Road. To continue on the Baker Trail, stay straight along the Clarion River. The river trail works its way back uphill to connect to Fire Tower Road. This is one of the most beautiful hikes in the early summer when the mountain laurel and rhododendron bloom. Okay, now that we completed the Fire Tower, let's go and head over to the river hiking trail. The cool thing about this parking lot too is we're able to access 3 different parts of Cook Forest. The Fire Tower, Seneca Point, as well as the river trail. Hopefully this leads directly to the Clarion River. What's that, the Baker Trail? And then we have the Candlestick Maker. And this river trail is going to be easy going down, but not coming back up. Don't you think? That's alright, it's all part of the adventure.
When you get shot, you coming down this trail, though, it's pretty damn cool.
Yeah. Okay, thankfully some fellow hikers provided us a little shortcut in the trail. So we should almost be down to the river. I do hear water. Or is it the trees rustling in the wind? Wonder how many feet in elevation we dropped. Yeah, it is. It's like a little den for deer. Here we go. I see the river. Starting to get a little worried. Now the fun part's coming back up. So I wish we had like a helicopter down here we could just ride back up. Okay, after all this hiking, we finally made it down to the riverbed. Once my father and I eventually made it to the bottom of the trail, we were greeted with beautiful views of the river. I have to say that this trail is one of the quietest places I've ever been to. It was so quiet that you could hear a pin drop once you made it to the bank of the river, which is why I recommend this trail if you want to escape from the noise into this peaceful wilderness.
Oh, this is going to be nice.
So quiet. You could hear a pin drop out here. There we go. Look at this.
Oh, man.
Clarion River.
Pretty wide.
Yeah. This is like the most peaceful place I've been to recently. So quiet. Okay, I hope everyone enjoyed our hike down to the Clarion River. It was super relaxing, peaceful, and you could basically hear a pin drop here in the woods. That's how quiet it was. So now we are going to begin our journey back up to the Seneca Point parking lot. Then we'll be off to our next destination. Okay, after a very winded hike back on the way up here, we made it back to the fire tower, and now we're off to another location within Cook Forest. Alright everyone, we decided to stop for a quick bite to eat at the Forest Nook Restaurant, which just so happens to be one of my favorite places here, located in Cook Forest. It's a really great restaurant. They have a lot of great burgers, pizzas, just freshly made dishes. So I highly recommend you come and check this place out if you're in the area. We'll do a quick little walk through here. There's a bunch of nice little flowers they have out here. As well as a kind of like a souvenir shop over there, as you can see. Just really nice. Nice outdoor seating for these beautiful flowers. So yes, I do highly recommend this restaurant. The place is beautiful. It's like a nice little private property with a bunch of gardens and stuff. And I will get some drone footage to show you. By the way, this is outside of the park, so drone footage is permitted. And we just have one final location for today. So stay tuned for our next stop. Okay, here's our second detour for the day. We stopped at Parker's Indian Trading Post. You have a nice little Indian sign over here. And this place does sell some local gemstones and just basic souvenirs. You can find some really nice geodes in here too. Look at this. Look at this, they got Yogi the Bear over here. I think that's his name. Okay everyone, so this is the inside of the store. As you can see, they have a ton of nice souvenirs. So whenever you stop to Cook Forest, make sure you check out this Indian Trading Post. Really unique stuff here. Reminds me of being out west again. All kind of geodes over here. Really nice stuff. Some arrowheads. Oh wow, might have to get some of this stuff. As you all know, I'm really into geology. Welcome to our final stop for today's adventure in Cook Forest, which is the Forest Cathedral, home to some of the tallest trees in the northeastern United States. The hemlocks and white pines, these are absolutely gorgeous. This place is also home to the memorial dedicated to the people who preserve this beautiful land for others to enjoy. So let's go check it out. They got some grills out here. That guy's still beeping over there. This area is also home to this historic cabin, as you can see. Let's see what this sign says. Oh yes. So it says, the Forest Cathedral Natural Area contains one of the largest old-growth forests of white pine and eastern hemlock in Pennsylvania. Many of these magnificent pine and hemlock now exceed 3 feet in diameter and approach 200 feet in height, which is absolutely crazy. So they're over 300 years of age, making this the oldest forest in this part of Pennsylvania. Our final destination for our adventure through Cook Forest was the Memorial Fountain, an old log cabin. This large building was built in 1934 by the Civilian Conservation Corps. It was used as a living quarters and then as a restaurant. The building is currently the environmental learning classroom with displays, taxidermy animals, and the logging tools from early lumbering days. Okay, so apparently this machine is a shingle mill. This machine is, let's see, located along Tom's Run near shelter number 1. That's pretty cool. In order to make the shingles, a wooden block was placed on the cartridge and moved against the saw, cutting thin pieces of wood. It was driven by a steam power belt. Wow, they definitely knew how to make stuff back then, that's for sure. Okay, this is the inside of the cabin. Look at this thing. This place is sweet. They have pictures of the year-round activities, some hiking, fishing, canoeing, and stuff like that. Kayaks. Look at this place. Jeez, this is like a museum in here. Awesome. A bunch of pictures of the various animals you could find here. What is that?
It's a petrified rock. Petrified wood.
Petrified wood samples over there. What's this? A mystery box. Oh, I don't want to go in there. Then, of course, they have the displays. Various animals here. The glare might be a little too rough, but Cooper's hawk, ring-necked pheasant, red-tailed hawk, as well as some
beaver.
Oh, look at this. Was it a black bear?
See the beaver?
Yeah, the beaver down there. Oh, it's a little too dark.
Owl.
Yeah, there's an owl, bobcat. Jeez. Wouldn't want to see one of those in the woods. White-tailed deer. It's just really nice.
Old growth trees.
Yeah, look at the thickness of these trees that were sampled here. That's crazy. Imagine using this as like a butcher block or something. Just a very nice center over here. Okay, so this display over here showcases the tree growth. Look how thick this tree is here. And it's showing you all the events that happened throughout this tree's lifetime, all dating back to 1789 when George Washington was first elected. That's crazy. Leading all the way up to 1952. So it just shows you how old this forest really is here. That's why you should check this place out.
This is the wingspan of an eagle.
Oh wow, look at that. Jeez, what does that say, 7 feet?
6.5 to 7 feet.
That's crazy. Alright, so let's go, and now that we checked out this cabin, let's go and check out the memorial. Oh look, there's a old picture when they were building the fire tower. That's pretty cool. What's that say, the stump puller?
Cool stuff's out of the ground, isn't that crazy? This is right in front of you.
Yeah.
This is it.
So this is the stump puller right here.
I did that at home.
Yeah, no kidding. It's really incredible how they built stuff back then. Okay, so now that we checked out the display room, let's go head out into the wilderness to wrap up this adventure. Got a little splash of history. It's crazy to think how old this forest actually is. Over 300 years old, you're looking at right now. Built in 1950 on Longfellow Trail, the fountain was dedicated to the original members of the Cook Forest Association, who were instrumental in raising additional funds needed to purchase the land from the A. Cook Sons Company, and made this park possible. Alright, we're approaching the memorial, our final stop for today's adventure. Hope you all enjoyed today's adventure. It was really action-packed. one of my favorite parks now. Here we go, here it is. Beautifully constructed too. Alright, so here we go. It says this memorial is erected for the Cook's Forest Association in the year 1950 in honor of those citizens who, by leadership, laborers, and gifts, made possible the preservation of this virgin white pine forest for the enjoyment of all the people. So, thanks to all these people, we have this beautiful forest to enjoy for many generations to come. I would just like to say thank you all so much for watching today's hiking adventure throughout Cook Forest State Park here in Pennsylvania. This place absolutely blew me away, and it was my first real adventure throughout this park. So I will be returning when the fall foliage starts to really come into play here throughout the forest. Anyways, thank you so much for watching today's hiking adventure, and stay tuned for more adventures coming soon.